welcome to another episode of Breadcast Gaming Talk. One thing about me is that I never get to be picked to be a part of anything cool or fun. But I got lucky for once, and I was chosen to take part in not one, but 2 weekends of basically the closed beta for the multiplayer part of Halo Infinite. The long name is the Multiplayer Technical Preview. I was able to play starting on September 24th, 2021 through September 26th, 2021, and again on October 1st, 2021 through October 3rd, 2021. Need I really say what I'm going to be talking about on this episode? So as soon as I loaded up the game and got past the initial loading screens, I was met with the title screen, and it looks very nice. The main menu has the same background as the title screen, just has your Spartan standing on to one side. I should mention that I'm playing the PC version and using keyboard and mouse, which brings me to the options. There are a lot of options here. You have Xbox controller options if you want to plug one in, keyboard and mouse options, and a good amount of audio and video options as well. One thing that kind of threw me for a loop with this actually was the keyboard and mouse controls. Because I'm used to how they are in the Master Chief Collection. So in the Master Chief Collection, you use WASD to move, or at least I do. The Q key was your melee, and then you pressed 1 and 2, or key 1 to change between your primary and secondary weapons. And I think F was the grenade. But in Halo Infinite, it's WASD is the movement, Q is your ability, which in Master Chief Collection, Shift was your ability. Q is the ability, Shift is sprint, and then F is melee, G is grenade, and the mouse wheel up and down switches between primary and secondary. So Halo Infinite's controls are much more like every other kind of first-person shooter, which is good, but it just threw me for a loop coming from Master Chief Collection. Something else I found cool in all the menus is that there is the Armory and the Vehicle Bay. The Armory, you can look at your armor, you can change pieces, color it, do all of that. There's the weapon, I forget what they call it. It's basically a spot where you can look at all of the UNSC weapons that are currently available in the game. You can go in and customize them as well. The Vehicle Bay, you can take a look at all the vehicles that are available as of now. I don't think you can customize the vehicles though in the same way that you can as the weapons. Let's talk modes. There is an offline sort of mode called Training Mode. Training Mode is basically multiplayer, but you get to play against bots, and it's unlimited time. The only other thing is that when you access the pause menu in the Training Mode, where you can set things like the bot difficulty, number of bots, and you can change your entire loadout, basically selecting from all of the available weapons in the game. I use this mode to really test out all of the weapons, especially the new ones, get a feel for the 3 maps as well as all the new abilities and stuff. I really love that they put this mode in there, as there are only select times to play the official matchmaking, and this is a great way to keep playing and getting used to things. Speaking of official matchmaking, let's talk about that part next. So when you enter multiplayer, you are met with the options of Social Arena and Bot Arena. The Bot Arena is pretty similar to the Training Mode, with the exception that the players on the same team as you are actual players and the enemy team is all bots. You also can't change the difficulty of the bots in Bot Arena, but that's okay with me. The Social Mode is the mode where you go for pure PvP multiplayer. Sadly, the game mode available right now is Slayer, and that's it. In comparison, the Bot Arena mode had Slayer as well as one map to play Capture the Flag on, I actually had a lot of fun playing Capture the Flag, and I wish that the mode was playable in the social arena, but as of now, it's not. Apparently, the closed beta that takes place on September 30th through October 3rd, next weekend, is going to add the game mode Big Team Battle in there. So what about the weapons, I hear you ask? Well, you have some returning weapons like the MA-40 assault rifle, the BR-75 battle rifle, and the Spanker rocket launcher, as well as new weapons like the Heatwave, the CQS-48 Bulldog, and the VK-78 Commando, to name a few. All of the weapons, both the UNSC and Covenant ones, they all look really, really good, and they all work perfectly. The only things I found a little off about the weapons are really only about 3 of them. I've been playing a lot of Firefight in the Master Chief Collection recently, in both Halo Reach and Halo 3 ODST, and if you ask me, the MA-40 assault rifle in Halo Infinite doesn't sound as meaty as it does in those games. I don't really know how best to explain it, but it feels a little too refined. On the other hand, the S7 sniper rifle sounds so awesome. Like when you shoot that thing, it really has a boom to it. It sounds like a 50 caliber sniper rifle should, and boy, that feeling when a shot connects is just so awesome. The final one is the plasma pistol, and what I think is that they really took a lot of power from it. I tried over and over to try to get at least one kill with the plasma pistol, but the closest I came was an assist. That doesn't really count. I don't know what they did to it, but they really need to tweak the plasma pistol. Surprisingly, the plasma pistol and the pulse rifle are the only 2 Covenant weapons that are available in the game as of now. I will say, one thing I think is really pointless is the zoom that you can do with every weapon. I guess I'm just used to the usual of only scoped weapons having any kind of zoom, but here you can do it with any weapon, and I don't think it's necessary because it doesn't provide an advantage for most of them. Then we have the abilities. As of now, there are 3 abilities that can be found on the maps. There's the active camo, which makes you invisible. There's the drop shield, which does exactly what the name implies. And finally, there's the hook shot, which is the grappling hook, and I honestly didn't think it was going to be an ability. Each ability has a limited amount of uses. Drop shield, I think, is 2. The camo, I think, is 3, and the hook shot is 5. There's also different types of grenades throughout the map. You'll find standard grenades, plasma grenades, and spike grenades throughout the map. But you have to, find them. The next thing, before getting into the negatives, is the music, because the music's actually great, at least when it's there. See, when I boot up the beta and get to the title screen, you hear the Halo theme, the choral singing part. And I remember at one point, while I was waiting for Matchmaking to load, it did, the One Final Effort song, and that was just terrific to hear. I liked that. The only downside is that there's absolutely no music when you are in the midst of a match, and I really just would have liked something there. Other than that, the music is wonderful and fits really well. One more thing that I actually need to mention is that there is a store and a season pass. The game uses a currency called credits. When I opened the store, I noticed that I have 3,000 credits. You use credits to buy things like weapon and armor skins, basically, with credits, and it's better stay that way. The season pass looks to be about the same vein as how it is in the Master Chief Collection. You have daily things that you get a certain amount of XP for when you complete them. At this exact moment in time, this season pass costs 250 credits. The only unknown thing is if there's going to be a real world money cost to buy credits. I would expect that there will be, but as of now, there's no indication of it. Now it's time to talk about negative things that I've experienced. The first is that upon completion of downloading the beta and trying things out, not like an actual match, but just playing around in the menus and stuff, The game would constantly crash to desktop. It did this so much that I ended up restarting my computer to be able to play just like an hour of training mode. The other one is that the following day when I got on to play, I kept getting the "your account is not authorized to play Halo Infinite" message, and it kept asking me to log into my Microsoft account. Eventually, after restarting the game 3 times and my computer 1 time, I was able to get in. The second to last thing that I encountered when I was joining the social arena, I'd get the message there was a problem with the dedicated servers. This was an easy fix as I just kept trying to connect to a match, and eventually things got going and I was able to get in. The last thing, and this is the most usual and expected thing, is that there's a lot of stuttering and freezing in the game, no matter what you do. Social arena, bot arena, training mode, whatever. Things are lagging. But eventually things smoothed out eventually, so it's all good. To be honest, I've been having a ton of fun playing this. It's fast-paced and just some good fun. I don't usually play multiplayer portions in first-person shooter games, but I'm glad to be playing this and will continue to for as long as I'm available to, and I look forward to getting to try out Big Team Battle next weekend. And that's all I have to say, so if you're mad at the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.